up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Chandler, aka Entrepreneur, and this is the Entrepreneur channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 signs that you may be an entrepreneur. Let's get into the video. Okay, sign number 1, you can't keep a 9-to-5 job. Now, I personally have gone through this. These are definitely my experiences, but if you guys are experiencing this, this may be a clue. So what I mean by can't keep a 9-to-5 job is that you get into these jobs and you're there for like a month or 6 months or a year and never really feeling stable or comfortable. That has happened to me. I was a probation officer, I was a fraud investigator. I worked for Home Depot, worked for a law firm, but I just could not hold on to my job. And at first I thought, okay, something is wrong with you. Like, why can't you keep your job? Like, what is happening? This may be backwards. I don't know. Change it. It may be coming through backwards. I don't know. Working the jobs that I had, I absolutely hated it. And at first I thought something has got to be wrong with me. And then people around me would question me like, is there something wrong with you? Like, why can't you hold on to a job? But it took me a couple of years to realize that it's not that I didn't want to, get my money and do what I needed to do. What it was is I wanted to work, just not for somebody else. I just could not hold on to a job long term. Unfortunately, it took me some years to understand that about myself. So it was hard. I was really hard on myself. Hindsight being 2020. I was okay with working. I just didn't want to work for anybody else. So if that's you, this may be a sign that you're an entrepreneur. I was going to write it on the board, but I think it's coming through backwards. I won't write it down then. We'll just talk about it. I actually am a college graduate. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. It really wasn't my plan because those of you who don't know me don't know this, but I'm actually a figure skater. I had been skating since I was about 8 years old, and I just literally fell in love with the sport and had been skating ever since. I skated competitively. I also did a lot of exhibitions, going to different rinks and doing shows, and it was something that I really, really loved, and I still love it. I actually still skate. So it's definitely a part of me, and it's my talent. And I remember my mother saying to me after I graduated high school, she said, listen, you're going to have to pick. Either you're going to continue to skate or you're going to go to college. We can't afford both. So me being the 15-year-old that I was, initially I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to go to college because what if I injure myself? What if I break something and then my career is over? But it didn't click in my head back then that I could actually monetize my talent. Looking back, there were, ice shows and coaching, and there's so many things that I could have done to monetize my talent, and that never crossed my mind, and no one suggested it to me either. So I chose to go to college. I majored in criminal justice because I was told by a counselor that law schools don't like it when you major in law. My plan was to go to law school. I did well on the LSAT. And then I don't know what happened. I fell out of love with reading cases and reading precedents, and I just fell out of love with it. And I was just like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I knew that wasn't my path. After that, I just was getting these jobs, because I had the degree. I literally could not hold on to not one of those jobs for more than a year. I think even less than a year. I think the longest job I kept back then was like 7 months. I I don't know. Sign number two that you may be an entrepreneur is that you're always coming up with creative ideas. Now, this is different from my tip that I gave in one of my previous videos where I said just get a piece of paper and a pen, start to purge your ideas on that blank page. This is a little different from that. This is like you visually can see it, and in your mind you're visually creating it. Like if you're sitting there like, oh man, it would be really dope if I came up with this product and started this website and started to ship it. Like it's just in your head and it's always happening. Like with me, I love my rest. Sometimes when I'm sleeping, an idea can literally wake me up out of my sleep to the point where I have to get up, I have to get a pen, I have to get a piece of paper and jot it down. But also I find that sometimes when I'm speaking to people, while they're talking to me, their voices kind of start to sound like an echo, because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, tomorrow I need to call this manufacturer, see if we can, do some business, or I have to return this email, or I have to figure out how many units I need to purchase of this. Like, they're talking to me. I'm responding. I'm trying not to be rude. I swear I don't do it on purpose. But sometimes when people talk to me, my mind is creatively somewhere else. It does get annoying to me. But I'm learning that that's just how my mind works, when I'm thinking of business. So if you find that you do that, you may be an entrepreneur. A lot of entrepreneurs are they're just creatives. You know what I mean? Like, it just comes out. Like, you can't help it. It doesn't, you can't push a button to stop it. There's nights where I wish I can just turn my brain off, like just by pushing a button, turn my brain off so I can, go back to sleep. But those ideas they're coming and you have to put them somewhere. So if you find that any of those things happen to you, you may be an entrepreneur. Okay, the third sign that you may be an entrepreneur is that you're a loner. You're always alone or always by yourself. You don't really find solace in being around a whole bunch of people all the time. With me, I'm definitely that way. Not just in my environment, but also little things like just talking on the phone. It's not that I don't want to speak to my friends. Hey y'all, it's not that. I literally sometimes have to bite my tongue to not talk about business. Because I know the person on the other line is either going to be tired of me talking about it, or it's just not going to interest them because that's not their thing. So I find myself on the phone with people sometimes, and I literally have to make an effort to not talk about business or to not try to persuade them to start a business. I think I'm annoying. So I purposely bite my tongue, and I try my best not to say anything. And if I say something, I try to catch it really quickly, because I know that person is either not interested or wouldn't understand. That's, why I mentioned in one of my previous videos that it's important to network and to surround yourself with people who are on the same journey that you're on. You know what I mean? Because it's lonely. Being an entrepreneur is lonely, and it's not easy. And that's just a part of the game. You know what I mean? Like, I think I've gotten used to it at this point. But it's still hard. Like I tell people all the time, like this is not a journey that's for everyone. It does take a lot of sacrifice. It does take a lot of patience, not only with the process, but with yourself. Like you're going to mess up, you're going to make mistakes, but you have to be willing to go through that. You have to be willing to go through the process. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but I think the reward is so much greater than the sacrifice and the challenge. That's what keeps me going. So I want to encourage you, if you're feeling that way, keep going. It's going to pay off as long as you continue on that journey. It's going to pay off. You're not crazy. You're not a lunatic. You may really just be an entrepreneur. And we're just different in a weird, awesome way. We're just different. Our minds work differently than others. It's okay. You're not crazy. Don't let anybody around you tell you that you're crazy or, that you're not this and you're not that. You really need to consider, like, hey, maybe this is happening because that's just not who I am. This is who I am. I'm an entrepreneur. So that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in for another edition of the Entrepreneur Channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you know when I post a new video. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye. So today we are going to be talking about 3 signs that make... Today we are going to be talking about 3 signs that... Today we are going to be talking about something that I wanted to bring to... Yeah, it's backwards.